I am from Aphrodisiac, so we're like a theatre outlet, and we just review loads of theatre plays.
Cool.
So I'm just going to ask you a few quick questions about the film, which I watched last week. It was amazing.
Thank you.
My first question is, how did you approach bringing a fresh perspective to the Colour Purple musical so that fans from the book, film, or Broadway and newcomers would find something special in your adaptation?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest things for me was figuring out how we could actually truly contribute to the canon. And it started, of course, with deciding that Celie would have an imagination. And I knew that that imaginative plane will be a place that no one had ever truly gone fully. I mean, Alice Walker's book sets it up really brilliantly in the first page, first line, "Dear God, I'm 14 years old, I need a sign, tell me what's happening to me." I think that's like, for me, immediately I went, anyone who writes letters to God must have an imagination. And so that's where I began, and continue to expand that headspace allowed us to really cement our place in the canon, while also, of course, honoring the book, the play, and Steven Spielberg's feature.
My next question for you is, if you could offer a single piece of advice to alter the course of a character's story for the better, which character would you choose? What advice would you give, and why?
Oh, wow. I think it would be Mr.
Okay.
You know, and it'll be follow your dreams, because dreams deferred are pretty much probably the number one contributing factor to the creation of abusers. You know, people who had things that didn't happen for them, deeply envious of others with light, others who have a fulfilling thing in them. Envy and jealousy builds up very quickly, and I think that people who end up causing others harm is because things aren't working out for them. You know, Mr. is a victim of generational trauma that's passed from his dad to him, and of course he makes attempts to pass it to his son. But I think that the conversation is almost always about disarming the abuser, because when there is no abuser, there is no abused. Celie then gets to live her full life the way she's supposed to, being loved, being respected, being valued. So really, I think a lot of what I hope is that young men have access to this film, and they use this film almost as a barometer to find who they are, and how other people that may be in their lives, their dads, their uncles, their grandparents, factor into this continuum, right? Are they the ones breaking the generational curse? Are they perpetuating it, continuing it? So yeah, I really think, I hope that young men really, I know this movie is about our women's stories, but I'm hoping young men have access to this film and show up in droves to see it, because there's a lot of healing that they need to go through. And when they're healed, then they're better supporters, they're better spouses, they're better brothers, better uncles, better everything, which then makes life hella better for women.
I totally agree with you on that one. I would never think of Mr. as well, but you're right, he has so much trauma that has just gone from generation to generation, and you can see it because he's so bitter.
Yes.
My favourite song on the soundtrack is I'm Here, for its meaningful reminder about purpose. What song from the soundtrack are you adding to your playlist this week to provide inspiration?
As in a general song, or
Just from,
song from the movie?
Yeah, from the movie.
It's Hell No for me. Yeah, because Hell No is powerful, because what it does is that it's an anthem. It tells us that enough is enough. It told Celie that enough is enough. And I think one of my most, just a part that I cannot wait to get to in the course of the movie is when Celie goes to visit Sophia in jail, and she's at her lowest, and she comes out, Celie comes out singing Hell No, but her version. And I think that it was very intentional. It's the only song that's reprised in the whole movie. And I thought it was very important, because sometimes we get a lesson that we're not ready for, right? Somebody tells you this is a way to do a thing, and you're not ready to receive it. And when Sophia was telling Celie hell no. She wasn't ready to receive. She didn't know what that meant. But then as times went on, that became the catalyst to raise Sophia up when Sophia was down. So, you know, I think it's a very special song because of its A-B component and the fact that it gave both women a strong voice. And it's actually how those women arrive at that Easter table because, you know, the hell no that Sophia told Celie is how they all were able to kind of build themselves up.
Yeah, totally. I love that song as well. It's so good. And that whole scene, for the past few days, everything that happened to Sophia has just... It's the one scene that broke me.
Yes.
It really broke
Wow.
me. So yeah, it was amazing. Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.